This video is about the basic settings you can change to configure version 2.0 of aaSsessMyVS, the colour overlay assessment app from Aardwearing Software Limited. This version of aaSsessMyVS is much more powerful and flexible than earlier versions. This means that there are more settings that can be changed, and this video covers the basic settings that you're most likely to want to amend. It doesn't cover the more advanced settings that are most likely to be of use to those performing research in this area. These are covered in a separate video. It's assumed that you've already watched the Getting Started video and are familiar with running the app on its default settings. In this video we'll cover changing the text wording used in the test text panels, changing the size of the text used in the test text panels, changing the assessment algorithm used, changing whether full result details are generated or not, changing the destination address to which results will be emailed. All other settings are covered in the Advanced Settings video. Any changes you make to these settings will be remembered in future, even if the app is stopped and restarted. Tap this button on the main screen to bring up a vertical bar with two setting screen icons. You can tap again to hide it. Changing the test text wording. The standard test wording for the app has been kindly provided by Professor Arnold Wilkins of the University of Essex, but you can change this to whatever text you would like by pressing the Settings 1 button from the Settings pop-up bar to go to Settings Screen 1. Once on Settings Screen 1, simply tap on the left or right-hand text panel to select it for amendment. Then tap on the text to position the cursor and start editing. Press the Hide Keyboard button once you've finished editing. You can now choose one of three buttons. Cancel discards any changes, leaving the text as it was before. Reset changes the text back to the original from when the app was first installed, and Save saves your amended text for use in any future tests. When you're happy with the text in both left and right-hand panels, press the back button to return to the main screen. Changing the test text size. You can change other aspects of the assessment process by pressing the Settings 2 button on the Settings pop-up bar to call up Settings Screen 2. The most likely thing you'll want to do here is to adjust the size of the test text. You can do this by using the slider here. When you return from this menu, the test text size will have been adjusted and will be remembered. Changing the assessment algorithm. By default, version 2 of aaSsessMyVS uses a much improved assessment algorithm and a new, better balanced 16-color sequence. But there are other methods of assessment that aaSsessMyVS supports. The first is the old algorithm and 9-color sequence used by earlier versions of aaSsessMyVS. The second option is the new algorithm using a 10-color sequence that approximates to the physical color overlays that you can buy from Crossbow Education Limited. The reason you may want to use this is that it allows you to buy a similar physical overlay to the color you prefer, should you wish. To change the method to the one you want, simply set the switch for that method to on, and the previous one in use turns off automatically. Incidentally, you can tell from the main screen which method is being used by looking at the little telltale window or windows, depending upon the device you're using, on the title bar. These will either say old or old 9 if the old method is active, new or new 16 if the new default method is active, or CB or CB10 if the crossbow color sequence is being used with the new algorithm. The crossbow sequence behaves very much like the new method with 16 colors that you would have seen in the Getting Started video. The old algorithm is rather different though, changing whether full results are displayed. When using the new algorithm with either the standard 16-color or crossbow 10-color sequence, by default, highly detailed results are displayed stage by stage, as well as cumulative summary results for each stage and details of the parameter settings used in the test. To interpret these in detail, please watch the Understanding the Results video. If you prefer, you can suppress much of this detail, leaving only the summary totals and the parameter settings to be displayed. To do this, switch off the full result switch. Advanced Settings. You will notice one more setting switch for Advanced Settings. This is turned off by default. If you switch it on, you'll see a vertically scrollable area appear on the right-hand side of the Settings 2 screen. Most of these settings relate to fine-tuning the scoring and behaviour of the new algorithm and are only here to allow further academic research to be carried out. We recommend that you leave this turned off unless that's really what you want to use the app for. If you'd like to find out more about these settings, please watch the Advanced Settings video. Changing the destination email address. This is one setting that isn't on the settings screens. Instead, you adjust it from the Please Enter Email screen when you're sending an email of the latest test results. The first ever time you try to email results, aaSsessMyVS shows a prompt reminding you to fill in the destination email address. aaSsessMyVS always remembers the destination address you used last time, but you're given the opportunity to change it each time you send an email of test results, and the new one will then be remembered. Well, there you have it. That's how to change the basic settings on version 2.0 of aaSsessMyVS. Thanks for watching. We hope you like aaSsessMyVS and find it helpful. If you have any other queries, please visit www.ardwearing-software.com.